know Norman Weiss? I said, how many of you people here know Norman Weiss? How many of you people here really know Norman Weiss? I have a story about Norman Weiss. February 8, 1953, his son was born to Chaim and Chava Weiss of Provident Road, what was known as Mount Airy. It's now known as something else. They named him Nachum ben Chaim. On February 9th, 1964, to celebrate Nachum's 11th birthday, the family gathered around the television like they do every Sunday night to watch the Ed Sullivan Show. Yeah. His bubby called it the Ed Solomon Show because she was sure that Irish Ed was really a Jewish fella who changed his name so he could assimilate into society, as many people did back then. A twinkle appeared in Nachum's eye as Ed Solomon introduced the Beatles. The following morning, Nachum announced he would grow his hair long like the Beatles and drop out of 5th grade and become a rock star. It wasn't meant to be a joke. That afternoon, when Nachum returned home from his religious Orthodox Jewish day school, Chava, who was the daughter of Orthodox Jews, grabbed him by the ear, marched him to the barber shop on Wadsworth Avenue, and instructed the barber to give him a crew cut. No long hair, no rock star. On August 15, 1969, 16-year-old Nachum hitchhiked to Bethel, New York to attend the Woodstock Music and Art Fair. And after 3 days of peace, love, and music in a perpetual state of bliss and brown acid, Nachum returned home to his family and proclaimed that he was going to become a rock star and drop out of high school. He also said he would no longer be known as Nachum. He's now Norman Weiss, rock star. Well, the following morning, Chaim invited Nachum to accompany him to the store at his toy route. He sold useless, overpriced toys to underprivileged youngsters who could ill afford them. At 3 o'clock, they headed home. Or at least Norman and Nachum thought they were heading home. They stopped at the Naval Recruiting Station. Chaim had joined the Navy at 16 to fight the Nazis in World War II. He told Nachum he had a choice here. When he turned 17 in February, he could join the Navy and see sites like Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand. Or he could go back to 11th grade. Nachum chose high school, with the emphasis on high. Nachum graduated in 1971 and enrolled at Temple University. He intended to become a dentist. After one semester, that dream ended, along with a 1.1 grade point average and academic probation. On February 8, 1975, Nachum's 22nd birthday, he fell asleep on the H bus. He missed his stop. He was a redshirt junior at Temple at the time. He lived on High Street, Germantown. He was trying his hand at group living in a hippie commune, aptly named High House. When Nachum woke up, the H bus was at Carpenter Lane and McCallum Streets. This is a true story. He began to wander down Carpenter Lane singing the Frank Zappa song that had been in his head for 2 weeks, Call Any Vegetable. When Nachum reached Green Street, a sign in a store window caught his eye, Fresh Vegetables. And so it was that Nachum Weiss first encountered Weaver's Way. Within a month, he defied his parents and dropped out of college to work at Weaver's Way. And within a year, he became a vegan and engineered a successful workers' coup to overthrow management. He named himself manager and renamed the co-op Weiss's Way. Life was good, but the co-op couldn't afford a sign painter, so it remained the name Weaver's Way. By 1980, Nachum grew tired of dealing with vegetables and man-airing politics. When a friend invited him to go west and crashed in his living room, he packed up his truck and moved to San Francisco. Upon arrival, he realized he'd been duped, because his friend's living room was also his friend's bedroom. In fact, his friend was crashing in a friend's living room, as was Nachum. His friend also didn't work, nor were interested in looking for work. His friend, in fact, told people he was a professional gambler. So Nachum had abandoned his lucrative career as a manager of a successful co-op in the East Coast to crash with a crasher. And then a month later, Nachum and his friend were invited to leave. They were kicked out of the living room and onto the street by Karen Sue Nightenhauser. Ironically, a year later, Karen Sue Nightenhauser came knocking at his door and asked if she could crash in his living room. By then, Nachum was living in a seedy section of San Francisco. The toilet. Sorry. What's so funny, Nachum?
Don't stop!
Stop! I didn't say stop playing.
Don't stop!
This is your life. Anyway, Nachum on his 30th birthday, February 8, 1983, Nachum and Karen Sue conceded they were in a relationship. They married and had a son. They called him Ben. Or Ben, there he is, Ben Norm, we called him. On February 8, 1990, Nachum had returned to Philadelphia several years prior.
1990?
Keep playing. You asked me to come up and sing this. In 1990, he engineered a successful workers' coup at Weaver's Way. Installed himself as manager once again. 5 years later, on a walk through Valley Green with his son, Nachum revealed to his 6-year-old that he had changed careers. He was now an actor. He actually hadn't officially changed careers, but in his mind, he was an actor. In his mind, he pounded the pavement for the next 10 years and took any acting job he could find, or any acting job that could find him. He wrote extensively about his acting career and his experience in The Shuttle, the official newspaper for Weaver's Way. But the fact was, he spent more time writing about his acting career than actually acting. And then on February 8, 2005, it's only 5 years away. February 8, 2005, angered by not having been discovered as the thespian who thoroughly captured Bob Cratchit's best friend in the Waterworks production of, the Water Tower production of Christmas Carol, or his stellar performance as Geppetto's best friend in the Water Tower production of Pinocchio, Nachum gave up acting. Pretend worlds were no longer for him. And then on February 8, 2008, will you keep playing? This is your life. We're not done yet. February 2008, Nachum listened intently to a speech Barack Obama was giving during his campaign against Hillary Clinton. Yes, we can, he said. And Nachum took that as a sign that, yes, he can become a rock star. For the next 2 years, Nachum answered every ad he could find on Craigslist for bands that were looking for keyboard players with little experience and less talent. He auditioned for 15 bands and got rejected by 15 bands. They said they weren't interested in what he had to offer. February 2010, Nachum turned 57. He contemplating ending his dream and randomly rang the doorbell of this house to tell anyone the news. And so it was, he walked in this living room and found a gynecologist who had grown tired of evaluating women's reproductive tracts, and a pain specialist who had grown tired of inflicting pain on his patients. They were strumming guitars melodically. Would you care to join us, they asked. And the Norm Weiss Trio was born. We're not done. Because a mere 3 weeks later, the 3 middle-aged Jewish men in career crises were confronted by a 24-year-old woman who resided on the 3rd floor of this house. Who are you and what is your business, she asked. Would you like to sing with us, Nachum replied. And the Norm Weiss experience, the Norm Weiss Trio, became the Norm Weiss Experience. And then, on October 10/10/10/10, a spiritual awakening occurred, and Norm Weiss began to request that his friends refer to him by his given name, Nachum. And so tonight, I give you a band and a man that's been 46 years in the making, and a song that's been in Nachum's head for over 40 years, the Nachum Weiss Experience, and Nachum's tune.